There's one undeniable truth in life. True strength lies within you. Each of us carries a life's task, a journey to reconnect with what made us unique and inspired from the very beginning, no matter your age. The essential step is to reflect on those early passions, those sparks that ignited your heart when you were younger. Only by confronting yourself can you uncover the right path forward. This is the moment to awaken, to abandon procrastination, and to step out of the shadows of complacency toward the dreams and potential you were always meant to fulfill. And you know what? This journey won't be easy. But it's within these challenges that real strength is forged.
Your life's task, as I call it, is to return to those inclinations and to that uniqueness that marked each and every one of you at birth. Whatever age you find yourself, you must reflect back upon those earliest inclinations. You must look at those subjects in the present that continue to spark that childlike, intense curiosity. Based on these reflections, you determine the direction you must take.
I am going to tell you right now, T here is great power and adversity. If you are a victim of any kind, make sure you use that to become successful. Don't look for revenge. Look for the reckoning. I guarantee you, all those people, if you are growing up, you might just be the boss.
Don't go around telling people, Will, what your story is. Everybody has a story. 80% don't care, and 20% glad it's you. Doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it? Begin. This is where it begins. In the darkness before the sun and the birds and the world, every day, when the alarm sounds, it's time rise. Despite fatigue and soreness, curse the warmth of the bed, curse the comfort of the pillow. Fight the temptation of weakness. Get up and go. Do it quickly without fault. Do not reason with weakness. You must only take action. Get up and go.
Let me tell you something. You keep burying those dreams. The longer you wait, the harder they are to find. It's time to dig those things out right now and find them and put them right in front of you again and go chase them. You can have a great family and a great business and a great financial situation and feel great about yourself and travel the world and do whatever the heck it is you want, but you need to dig those dreams out right now.
Most folks know what they dream about and what they want, and yet they're spending all of their time and energy arguing against what they want. And so you can have all these epiphanies, but it's not going to mean if you don't take action and do something about it. The aha moment is the door that opens, but your new life does not begin unless you step through the door. That there is somewhere in your life that you know what you want. You can feel it pulling you, and you are actively arguing against it. You are bringing yourself down. You are beating yourself out.
I got it now. I understand now. You are attracted to greatness because greatness is all in you. But it's easier to watch greatness. It's easier to go see greatness than it is to put in the time, to put in the energy, to discipline yourself, to sacrifice. It's easier. And so that's why you average. And so you frustrated because you are not living like you should live. No, you don't have what you should have. You are not being who you should be. And so that's why you don't want to wake up in the morning. That's why you pissed off with Monday, because Monday is the day that you are supposed to go mold and shape and create your greatness. That's why you like Friday. I get it, because Friday you get to chill. You don't have to face yourself on Friday. You don't have to face yourself on Saturday. On Sunday, that's the day that everybody is partying, everybody's drunk, everybody gets to forget that they didn't become who they were supposed to become during the week. That's why I get it now. But I challenge you. Listen to me. I challenge you. Why do I? Because I know you can't listen to me. Some of you not even in the game. Can you do me a favor? Get in the game. You could be great if you just showed up. Get in the game.
That is you. That is you. That no one can do it for you but you. You know what you allow. What's going to continue in your life? It's hard to accept this, but what's happening in our lives, we're allowing it to happen. And to some extent, we almost believe we deserve it because we produce in our life what we really believe we're worth, what we really believe we deserve. And it doesn't. It's hard to accept that because it seems coincidental. You know that the wrong person in our life, or there was a business setback, or our car broke down, and it seems coincidental, but you really truly are getting out of your life what you believe you're worth, what you believe you deserve. And you are allowing it to happen. And I am going to challenge you today to stop that. Stop allowing it and know that you deserve better.
Those steps for success, they're infinite. They are infinite. You cannot count them. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. Those steps are constantly shifting. You don't know if they're there. Sometimes you have to trust that the next step is going to be there. When you can't even see it, hold the line. Instead of going backward, instead of decaying, get stronger, get better, grow and learn and develop and live in defiance of the weakness and in rebellion against the decay. Fight them as they creep in with their offers of instant gratification and immediate rewards. Fight them for every inch they try to take. Do not surrender any ground ever. Hold the line.
If the guiding light in your life is that you only do and believe that which moves you towards your goal, when you get into that loop of beating yourself up and thinking that you are worthless or that you are never going to make it, remember that that belief does not serve you, and you don't do things that don't serve you.
And even though you face disappointments, even though you will experience some setbacks, it goes with the territory. You must understand that it's not over until even you.
The path to fulfilling your life's task is neither simple nor linear. It is a journey filled with twists, turns, challenges, and breakthroughs. It requires you to confront your fears, silence the voice of doubt within, and rise above the temptation to settle for less than you deserve. Along the way, you will face moments of fatigue, failure, and uncertainty. But these moments are not meant to stop you. They are there to shape you, to build the strength, resilience, and determination you need to carry on. True transformation begins when you stop looking outward for validation and start turning inward for clarity and purpose. The greatness you seek isn't something distant, locked away in someone else's story. It has been within you all along, waiting for the right moment to surface. Every step you take toward your goals, no matter how small, is an act of reclaiming your power. Think about the dreams you've buried, the ones you've told yourself were impractical or out of reach. They still call to you, even if faintly. It's time to listen. It's time to bring them to the forefront of your life and give them the energy they deserve. It's not enough to wish for change. You must act. You must push through the discomfort. Fight against the voice that tells you to quit and remind yourself daily that you are capable of achieving more than you ever imagined. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of persistence. The journey will test you, but it will also reward you in ways you can't yet comprehend. So rise up every day with purpose. Don't let the weight of yesterday or the fear of tomorrow keep you from moving forward. Each moment you dedicate to becoming the best version of yourself is a victory. Remember, your story is far from over. The challenges you face today will one day become the chapters that inspire others. Take the first step, then the next, and keep going. Greatness is not reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It belongs to those who choose to claim it. And when you finally reach that mountaintop, you realize it was never just about destination, it was about who you became along the way. This is your time. The power is within you. Step forward and claim the life that has always been waiting for you.
If you could leave me with one piece of advice, what would it be?
Make mistakes, but don't regret them. Learn from them. Because regrets are the hardest things to carry when you get older.
If you could leave me with one piece of place, what would it be? Make mistakes, but don't regret them. Learn from them, because regrets are the hardest things to carry when you get older. I don't think you understand the power that you truly possess. Even in the darkest times, which you may even be experiencing right now, you still remain. You cannot be destroyed, your soul. The life force behind those eyes is the most powerful force that exists. Evil could open up Earth's core and hurl you down. It could cast you into an endless void. But again, you still remain. Why is that? What does that mean? It means that you are the decider. You decide your fate. You decide who wins as you bear the gift of choice.
Everybody wants to be a star, but they don't understand that stars shine brightest at night when you're going through the darkness, when you're going through the hard times. That's when the champions shine the brightest. That's when it's go time. That's when it's really time to put in the work.
Listen, you're here because, if you want your life to be different, you have to change, right? If you want your life to change, you have to change. The key to achieving success in any area of your life comes from your ability to change yourself. And a lot of times changing yourself comes from changing your mind. First, reprogramming your mind to change your old patterns, to change your old beliefs, your old programs and your thoughts. Your habits and your beliefs are your driving forces behind your actions. So if you can understand the psychology and the science that's behind mental programming, then you can start to take charge of your life and create the future that doesn't look like your past.
Remind yourself that it's not about being perfect, it's about constantly putting one foot in front of the other, taking it moment by moment, step by step, not getting too ahead of yourself, right? Still keeping the vision and the goal and the dream at the forefront of your mind, knowing where you're trying to go, but understanding that it's a journey. And in this journey, you're going to make mistakes. In this journey, you're going to fall down. But every time you fall down, every time you make a mistake, every time you mess up, there's a lesson in it for you. There's an opportunity for growth. There's an opportunity to get back up and take the next right step. Right, and that's why this journey is so beautiful, because you learn so much about yourself. It's about being open and constantly trying to progress each and every day.
What happens when I decide for myself that I'm going to do something different? I'm going to have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because, yeah, nothing changes and nothing changes, man.
It's always a little bit frustrating to me when people have a negative relationship with failure. Failure is a massive part of being able to be successful. You have to get comfortable with failure. You have to actually seek failure. Failure is where all of the lessons are successful. People fail a lot. They fail a whole lot more than they succeed. But they extract the lessons from the failure and they use that, the energy, and they use the wisdom to come around to the next phase of success.
Truly understand that these are your greatest years, the years that will either make you successful or trap you into mediocrity for the rest of your life. So please make sure you make the most out of them, because your time is limited. You have to be okay with being misunderstood. You have to be okay with being rejected. You have to be okay with not thinking like the 99% if you want to lead. You have to lead from a place of confidence, and the worst thing you want to be a follower that follows followers.
Problem is right now, there's a lot of softness in the generation of entitlement of what I think I should be able to do. I should be able to enjoy my college years. I should be able to have a social life. I should be able to insert whatever you want. And that's fine, it'll just come at the cost of something else. And I'm not the one who says this is right or wrong. I just say it is that way. There is only so many minutes, and there's a trade that you're going to be willing to make. And the people who will win are the ones who are willing to trade the most for the thing they want. And that oftentimes means you won't be able to go out as much. You won't be able to attend the birthday parties. You won't be able to. That stuff will suffer.
Can't believe in yourself without believing in possibility. And you can't believe in possibility without believing in yourself. The belief that they could heal has to be installed. I just started disbelieving again. I started doubting, And I had to get back and change my state and start believing again. And I think if you keep doing that, you believe, you behave, you become...
What if I fail? Oh, but my darling, what if you fly? I love that because it's true. Why not entertain the best case scenario? Why not flip your mindset into believing in yourself? What if it all works out? What if this is the best decision I've ever made? What if this is beyond my wildest dreams? What if I try and I not only fly, but I soar? And the fact is, if you try, you will fly in a new direction. It is true.
Feels like I get sucked into this negative state of mind so fast, it doesn't even feel like I have a choice. It feels like life is throwing me around, and I have no saying where it goes. I understand this is for no other reason than that. Evil fears you. It sees your power. It sees what will happen if you realize your full potential. And therefore, it will do anything and everything to make you blind to it. It will find your weak points and it will attack them relentlessly until you give in.
You know, people get up every day, they do the same thing. They tell themselves they're going to change their life one day, and they never do. I'm going to change mine.
Hey bro, you can hit the reset button today. If you don't like whoever you've been up to this point, you can just stop being that person. Like today, you can decide to change the way you act, the way you behave every single day, including today is an opportunity for you to hit the reset button on your entire personality, your work ethic, your discipline, your values. You can transform your entire being starting right now.
The way that you get better at making decisions is making decisions. See, it's not that you have a hard time making a decision. It's that you're unwilling to make the wrong decision. Almost every single decision that you make in life, you can change or reverse. You drop out of school, you can go back if you break up with someone and realize, oh my God, that was wrong. You can tell them, and being able to make the wrong decision is how you make progress. There are no right or wrong decisions. Ironically, there's just decisions. And the second that you make a decision, you now learn something. It's not about being right. It's about being willing to move forward and learn something from it.
That what you are after is not a career or a profession. It is not a yearly income goal. It is not a car or a lifestyle. What you are after is a feeling. You want to feel free. You want to feel a sense of control. You want to feel capable and accomplished. You want to feel like you have a clear purpose. And you want to feel like you are fulfilling that purpose. It is much deeper than a dream job or a lifestyle your soul is craving to feel, and you do not have enough of these feelings to satisfy the craving. This is what we are here to fix. This discomfort stems from a poor mental framework. It has nothing to do with anything in the physical realm. You've adopted habits, behaviors, and thought patterns from your surroundings your entire life. Many of these behaviors and thought patterns are faulty and limiting. This is what I call a poor foundation. In order to fix this problem, we need to create the foundation our mental framework is built upon, so that we can, with time, go on to build a strong and optimized mental framework, which will allow us to properly pursue these feelings that we are after and succeed in doing so.
Find the others, admit it. You aren't like them, you're not even close. You may occasionally dress yourself up as one of them, watch the same mindless television shows as they do, maybe even eat the same fast food sometimes. But it seems that the more you try to fit in, the more you feel like an outsider watching normal people as they go about their automatic existences. For every time you say club passwords like "have a nice day" and "weather's awful today," you yearn inside to say forbidden things like "tell me something that makes you cry," or "what do you think deja vu is for? Face it." You even want to talk to that girl in the elevator. But what if that girl in the elevator and the balding man who walks past your cubicle at work are thinking the same thing? Who knows what you might learn from taking a chance on a conversation with a stranger? Everybody carries a piece of the puzzle. Nobody comes into your life by mere coincidence. Trust your instincts, do the unexpected. Find the others.
It's a human condition to be average. It's not to be as good as you can be. You know, it's a human condition to survive Just get along, be average. It's special to get somebody to be the best that they can be, to understand the work ethic and how important it is to earn it, and you reap what you sow. If the person you were competing against loves the process, you are never going to beat them in the long run. I mean, there's no chance you might beat them in the short run. It's like the person who loves climbing is going to climb much higher than the person who just wants to get the view from the summit point blank. Because they love it, they're going to do everything, they're going to get better at it, they're going to research, they're going to like everything about it. They are going to get better while this person's just focused on whatever the goal is.
There's a saying that if you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life. I learned that is a total crock. You'll work harder than you ever thought possible, but the tools will light in your hands.
Sometimes life's gonna hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love. And that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle as with all matters of the heart. You'll know when you find it, and like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking.
Don't settle, it's just a simple story. There were two nice people. One person built his house on the rock, and the other person built his house on the sand. And the storms came as they always do, and the one that built his house on the rock was saved, and the one that built his house on the sand was lost. Not because he was evil, not because he was bad. Here's what it means. Nice people can make foolish decisions. Let's make sure we build on the rock so that we last forever, not on the sand, and be gone when the storm comes.
Please understand that nothing works the first time. What is the average number of times that a person tries with a new goal before they give up? Can you guess? Well, the average is less than 1, because most people give up before they try, even once. Then they move away to a wonderful place called Sunday Isle someday, and most people live on Somay Isle. Your job and my job is to vote yourself off the island.
Learn that Handel's Messiah. I challenge you, to pick up a piano, to pick up, a violin. I challenge you to not accept the life that's been given to you. Just because somebody gave you that life, that does not have to become your reality. I challenge you to go outside of your immediate environment, and I challenge you to explore. I challenge you to discover. I challenge you to learn a second language. I challenge you to watch PBS, NPR radio. I challenge you to get out of just that world that you've been given. I challenge you to read books, to learn the history of this company. I challenge you to be bigger, bolder, and better. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and some of the people that we admire are people who have been exposed to things that other people haven't. I think what people get confused is, they're grinding with a goal. And I'm not saying you should have goals, but you should be grinding for grinding's sake. You should grind because that's what you do. You're passionate about what you do. And so you're waking up every day with this concept of, I have 24 hours and they're mine. This 24 hours belongs to me. And whatever I do in this 24 hours will determine where I'll be tomorrow and the next day. And I think that's what people need to focus on. Get off of this. I want to make 6 figures. I want to drive this car. I want to live in this house. I think what people should be focusing on is, I have 24 hours, like Oprah only has 24. Bill Gates only has 24, like Warren Buffett only has 24 hours. And in that 24-hour period, I can either break my life or make my life. I just think that goals for people is too high on the priority list. And I think what should be on the priority list is going to bed, so you can wake up the next day and you can grind it out. And I'm just a dude that believes you reap what you ess. So if you're grinding on Monday, grind it on Tuesday. Grinding on Wednesday, If you're grinding 6-7 days a week for a span of 5 or 6 years, something's got to come out of that, sure.
What I found is that instead of trying to live a successful life, if you aim to have a successful day, just 12 if you have 13 out of the 24 hours of your day. If you won those hours, you won the day. And if you win most of the days in a week, you won the week. We just need a simple majority here, right? If you win, most of the weeks in a month, there you go. Most of the month in a year, most of the years in a life. And all of a sudden look at that without even trying. You've been able to kind of get somewhere.
People misunderstand money, okay? Just like fundamentally, and it's actually not money. They misunderstand themselves. They misunderstand what they actually want. What people want is fulfillment. What people want is to feel good, and they think that, wow, if I had. And here's the truth. What they know is when they buy something, it does feel good. And they know if I could buy my mom a house, like that would feel good. If I could buy our big house, a fancy car, make me feel good. And it is all 100% true. Buying a fancy car will make you feel good. Buying a big house, make you feel good. But it makes you feel good the way a bowl of ice cream makes you feel good. It's momentary happiness. It's transient. It will go away, the Honic reset point. So you buy the big house and all of a sudden that's normal, baby. And so you really have to stop and remind yourself to be grateful for that. But recognize that all the things you thought money was going to bring you, it brings you something completely different. And if you want fulfillment, fulfillment is about being something, becoming something. It's born of suffering. It is not born of having a cool car, because you want a cool car, because of the way you want other people to look at you.
Right, and the way that will make you feel when you think that they look at you like.
Exactly. So it's tenuous at best, and it hinges entirely on them actually looking at you that way. So now you're somebody else's pawn because they can turn on you at any minute. So that's never going to bring you lasting fulfillment. It's not stable, doesn't make you feel strong and rooted, but becoming somebody, setting your sights on gaining certain skill sets of feeling a certain way of being calm, being, full of gratitude. Like all the things from a neurochemical standpoint that we read as good, like the none of money can't touch those things. So working on what I call framework happiness is the key to all that stuff. And money can't give you framework happiness.
I made the decision, it's the most important decision I believe of your life, that I'm not going to suffer anymore. Life's too short to suffer, and I'm going to live in a beautiful state every day. And the way I do it is I catch myself, and I start to get that sense of stress, I let it go. And I see the ID go by. So your thoughts about this person messing up your business or not falling through, if I was in a room with 10,000 people, I guarantee you 60 to 70% of the business owners have the same thought. I ask people all the time, tell me your most stressful thought. Oh, I'm worried about my children. This may happen. How many of you have had that thought? Everybody, nah, I might not make a financial level. How many of you have that? Everybody. My point is, it's not your thought, it's the mind, not your mind. When you think it's your mind, you identify with it, and you can't separate from yourself. But when you realize these thoughts have been around for millions of years, and I'm just thinking the same thought that so many people thought before, like how many people have ever thought I'm going to kill this son of a... Now you didn't do it, you didn't believe you're really going to kill them, but you felt it, you said it, you were there, right? So we all have thoughts, it's only the stressful thoughts we believe that mess us up. So what I try to show people is if you can start to realize these thoughts have been around for millions of years. So what I want you to realize is thoughts are invisible. When need to turn on TV, it takes invisible waves. And depending on the channel, you're going to see a love story or an adventure or a drama or a comedy horror or horror. The way you use your body determines which of those thought waves come through you. One moment, you're off the next moment. Somebody makes you laugh. You change your body, you change the channel, you change what comes through you. So what I've tried to do in this area, beautiful state, is simple. First, identify where you're suffering. What's your favorite flavor? Are you a worrier? Are you a offer stressed angry? What is it you do? Second of all, decide you're going to kill that monster while it's little. You're not going to wait till it's Godzilla taking the city. You're going to break the pattern. You start to feel the stress you see as thoughts going by, and then you focus on something you appreciate, enjoy, or love. Appreciation, love, and joy destroys suffering. You can't be grateful and angry simultaneously. It's possible. You can't be worried, you fearful, and grateful simultaneously. So I tell people gratitude is one of the emotions to cultivate that destroy the suffering, and that's what we teach people to do.
If you're not trying to get out of your situation and every day you're choosing to stay in it, and you can't complain about being given the choice you keep making. You know, one of my favorite quotes is, change happens when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of making a change. And I really do believe that. So when I hear people complain, knowing they're not changing it, I think maybe it's not hurting them enough for them to fight to get out. Complaining causes negativity, which causes you to complain, which causes negativity. And there are a few actionable things you can do to immediately stop this negative cycle and to break out of it. And the first one is actually just changing your perception. You know, if you can't change it, then at least change the way you think about it. Someone said, the brain doesn't just observe the world. IT projects, a second story over everything we see. That story is our perception. We can complain, rose bushes have thorns, or we can rejoice that thorn bushes have roses. Perception defines everyone's reality. The second thing is about your internal locus of control. Take responsibility. If you don't take responsibility, then you're choosing to be a victim of circumstance. And this victim mindset dilutes human potential. It kills action. And by not accepting personal responsibility for your own circumstances, you're greatly reducing the power you have to change it. And there are two primary choices we all make in life. It is to accept conditions as they are, or to accept the responsibility for changing them. Please choose the latter. And the last one, which is the most important of all, is making a change. Einstein said, as we all know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. And for every action, we have a reaction. If you want a new reaction, you must perform a new action. I found in my life that change starts with a big decision and a tiny step today, right now. Yesterday was the time to make that decision. It's time to take that step.
Henry Ford said it best in that book, Thinking, Grow Rich. You probably read it. He said, successful people make decisions quickly and that are slow to change their mind. Unsuccessful people hardly ever make up their mind. And when they do, they're constantly changing it back and forth. Wish he was watching like, do I want this? Do I want that? They have so much indecision. Indecision is what kills confidence. And here's the thing, success. The ability to make great decisions in your life comes from experience. And your experience usually comes from bad judgment. So it's not about making the right decision. Leaders successful. People don't always make the right decision, but they always make the decision right. That is, no matter what happens, they go for it, and then they know they're going to figure it out in the end because they clear about their outcome. But you gotta take decisions. You can't be paralyzed by fear here and say, oh, what I'm gonna do. So the first decision is what to focus on right now. As you're sitting there, you're probably on Facebook, on YouTube, something like that. You could be focused on this video. You could be focused on your iPhone. You could be focused on something that happened a year ago. You could be something that's going to happen in the future. But like they say in that book, Art Tolle says, in the power of now, your life is happening now. You're most powerful when you are operating in the now. Some people are trying to change things that happened in the past. They F if that hadn't happened or she hadn't said that, or if I had done that before. I didn't mess up before. And their energy, their focus, even though they're talking to you, they're locked in your eyes, right? There's a part of them energetically that is focused on something in the past. Does that make sense? Their energy, their focus, every time anything bad happens, they're like, well, if this hadn't happened before, their mind always goes, there is that. They have a pattern, a habit of focus. And so the most powerful thing you can do is be focused in the moment, because this is where your life happens. And if you're trying to control things that are in the future, or even in the past, you set yourself up for disappointment, because you can't change the past and you can influence the future. but you can't change the future. You know, there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of things. Some people have a big impact on the world, but hey, there's times things are going to happen. So you don't really know, but you still have to make decisions with absolute certainty. You have to have a vision within yourself. So the first decision you need to make every single day is, what are you going to focus on? What are you going to give your time and your attention to? That's decision number one.